What our council's got up its sleeve, like old Ebenezer, they put a squeeze on a bit of cheer in Brent. Even old Marley, that's Jacob, not Bob, warned Scrooge about being so mean. Now the only incentive for local residents is to imagine a festivity scene. Now, even Bob Cratchit didn't resort to a scratch card, but it may be lucky for us. Though we pay council tax and we push to the max to pay up or be taken to court, when it comes to some fun, bureaucracy's fun, and red tape is our only reward. So we'll take our pew on Tiny Tim's stool to view other boroughs' joy, with no choirs are singing, no bells are ringing, we can't even hand out any toys. Is this our Christmas, past, present and future? More like Xmas in our community. We implore you, Mr. Lawber, our noble leader, don't ban it all, Mr. Daniel, be our massive exec. Don't be misers to Kensal risers, we deserve a bit more respect. But we as a congregation Kensal rise to the occasion and take heart, as even Tiny Tim did in part. God bless us, everyone.
Hey.
And the next one, I'm not riled up. I won't get to that stage, but I've just been having a bit of a set to on Facebook with a friend of a friend about Sir Philip Green. I balk when I say that, Sir Philip Green and his lady Tiny Tears wife. Anyway, and I had this poem. This was about, I know it's Arcadia at the minute. But this was one I wrote, and this is on the Culture Matters website, where I've just had a poem published for their anthology, and Richard's got one in there, Culture Matters, Climate Matters. Anyway, so this was published on their website. This is called Entrailpreneur. Oh, I mean, curses, bloody, just a minute. Yeah, Entrailpreneur. An obscene excuse for a human being, hands greasy as your slick back hair, that cut the cards, that make the deals, that deck your boats, that seal the fate of minions, that skirt your tails, that bang your drum, that snatch your crumbs, that lot you flog to that second-rate chap who snapped 'em up like market glut. Pound a company. Your name suggests naivety, chakra of the heart, linked to the colour of nature, but yours is dark, like a dinner served up. Like a dinner you served up the 11,000 to a shark. What do you feel? How do you sleep? You're Mr. Yuck, you're Mr. Greed, you covet and you envy, a chiding brat. Don't look at me like that. Your snot, you spew, your luminous poot, you're the dryness in the levee. Sail away forever and a day on your beautiful pea green boat. Live like a slob in your wife's slimy name. But wherever you are, look out. If luck is a lady, you may fall foul, so don your cloth and pray. Your sleaze, your flout, your barra boy clout protects you from the mob. To quaff and scoff with arse-licking fops who really ought to frown you, drown you. Justice truly would see thee rebuked most vehemently, entrails dragged in a BHS trolley to Traitor's Gate, a fate to fit your folly. The time will come, you suck your thumb, you'll simper and say, sorry, mummy, 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 they're after my blood, they're saying I'm low and I'm bad, but all I want is an empire and Kate Moss hanging off my fob. Thanks.
Thank you. I think you meant that.
Thanks for listening.
And so here we are again in a realm of kings and queens and senses and friends and artwork emerging in each our own way, emerging with Andrew. Andrew.
Oh,
Yay.
okay. Well, I've got a little one here which I wrote recently. So it's called COVID Christmas, and I have to sing it, only I can't sing. So it's I'm dreaming of a COVID Christmas, unlike the ones I used to know, where the face shields glisten and young people listen to adhere to 2 meters in the snow.
In the snow.
I'm dreaming of a COVID Christmas with every virtual meeting I write. May your days be masked and bright, and may all your social contacts be slight.
Yay! It's a good job you didn't say white then.
Thank you, Mr. Gove.
Yes, and that concludes my bid for leadership.
Well, you do a better job.
And I think that's the only thing I'd like to do on the Christmas topic. I think I'd like to do my Hagtessa poem because I've not done it here for a while. So about the Hagtessa from Anglo-Saxon England, which were those wonderful supernatural female warriors which rode down from the sky and caused havoc and mayhem. Ooh. So this poem is called Return Ye Hagtessa, where I summon the Hagtessa to defend our ash trees from that terrible fungus, cholera dieback. Ye powerful, let me just get, okay. Ye powerful hags of the Saxon hills, rid our forests of their terrible ills. I doth here invoke and call upon thee, ye hags rough ride out, return and help me, O thou cavalcade of women riding, dreadful shield maidens, the battle deciding, defend our ashes from fungal attack, help us overthrow cholera dieback. The Mitigan whiff return to us now, dreadful Valkyrie, protect sacred bough, in ragged garments and with line linden shield, like devils ride out on tree battlefield. O ye Hagtessa with helmets on head, scare our enemy with thine battle dread. Ride ye loudly through fair forests again, through heathen sky come, cast out the profane. A din of line spears force fungus to flee. Thor's magic spear formed of ash, the world tree. Females from beyond, return and help me.
I'm in the midst of my poetry.
Be fungal free.
I'll phone you when I've finished.
We can. Oh
Okay.
no! Oh, oh, Andrew.
That was very nice.
Ah, I've got
Have you
another
finished?
Hagtessa one if you want to hear it.
That was brilliant. So you finished, Andrew, or not?
I don't know. Can I get, as they were, the first one was short, can I get another one in?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's up to Richard. He's
Richard?
the boss.
Well, I did say I'd allow
2.
2 each. And so we'll come back to you, Andrew.
Okay.
There was a problem with our recording there because at the end of your poem, a phone call came in and one of our members answered it. Never mind. Look at recent readings. First a crow flew fastly, then a nightingale 12 months on, and then you wrote your flight of fancy. So we go reading on from Mr. Denis Herbstein.
Yes. Okay.
Hey.
Right. I mean, I wasn't, no, I was there last time, and I gather the three different subjects are coming out. Is that right?
Pardon?
Coming out.
Yeah, I
The other
coming
one
out?
was Stir Crazy, and the fourth one was Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm writing on coming out. I'm coming out. Hold on a second. Right, good Lord. Okay. This is just to warn you, there's a reference there to George Bernard Shaw's famous statement that writing is 90% perspiration and 10% inspiration. So it's called On Coming Out. It's not too long. Can you see me?
Yes.
Oh, because I'm looking at my screen. It's called On Coming Out. I move nib across paper, scratching, scrolling, that an inkling of an idea might yet emerge. How to come out when there's nothing to come out from or to. Does something lurk there, hidden so well, even I'm deceived? Peering through the window, is the air pure enough to reveal the time on the large clock at 5 miles? A fellow scribe has warned, do not get dressed up in hunting gear and a fully cocked rifle in search of a quarry. You must ground it out. Do the perspiring Shavian 90% while holding your tobacco-stained breath for the inspirational 10, which must, if it is to come as a blinding aperçu. But what, O teacher, Magister Ricardo, if that moment does not come, or it does, and I don't recognize it, the pow, the shazam, I think she's got it now, a false alarm. Somebody, some unamused muse deliberately deceiving me. It, she, Senorita Eureka, promised, Mummy, she promised me. I'm not going to cry. We'll carry on. The great game of finding the entrance to the cave of creative concoction. Where is that Alibaba button? A button. It opens, slowly, creakily. Damn the adverbs. And I enter a dark and stormy grotto. Sorry, this freezing, batty hideaway. I hear weeping, or does it laugh? Lately scalped hair on the rock floor, a reeking corpse of an unfulfilled scribe. A beggar takes my elbow. Come and join our happy throng, we who have lost faith in the hunt for the magic formula. Here, I believe, is the Palacio of Inspiration, the oxymoronic ostrich hole where would-be writers quaff the ale of expectation. The cave door closes. There are no windows, chimneys, bog expellents, holes in the roof through which to make good my escape and renew the hunt for the inner me. And so the light cometh from no candle nor beam in the eye, but from, call it heaven, but really it's a Deus ex machina. And the voice said unto me, in 6 days you will write a novel. Well, maybe a novella. Make it a short story, a shortish one. A poem, let's say, unrhymed, of course. So it's an 8x6 line account of love and hate and winning the lottery. And I said to the man with the greedy look, I'll do it by Tuesday, God willing, if the inspiration comes. Call it work in progress. I signed on the dotted line. Nor was it done, nor shall be. I am staying in.
Nice idea, Dennis.
Huh?
I loved it. Nice idea.
Okay.
Brilliant. like,
Didn't rhyme very much.
like listening to John Betjeman or Auden
Okay.
or somebody.
I've got two more things, one very short. Should I keep the one for later?
Yeah, one for later.
Okay, I'm going to give you the one on Christmas. It is the shortest poem you'll hear tonight. I didn't write it. And it goes simply like this. Roses are reddish, violets are bluish. If it wasn't for Christmas, all the world would be Jewish.
Is that Ivor Cutler?
Okay, I've got
Thank
some
you very much.
a bit of doggerel, but that can wait.
And she wasn't here before. She's
Sorry.
come back this month. It's the one and only Gwyneth Wilson.
Yay, Gwyneth.
Sorry, my hearing is too bad for that. What?
Gwyneth. Right.
Are you waiting for me?
No, we're waiting for Gwyneth.
Apologies. Can Gwyneth make apologies for disturbing a poem with the phone? So sorry. Can you hear me?
Yep,
Yes.
yep.
Oh, well, I'm apologizing. So,
That's a very good poem.
and I'll be better organized next time. And sorry, I couldn't get in last month. I just could not get my computer to function. Every morning I wake up and I think, let this be the day when some wise men start to rule the country or the world, either. And because of that, I thought of it's Christmas and the story of the wise men. And I always thought it was just a tinsel legend. But doing a little bit of research, I discovered it was fact, or probably fact, because the Medes and the Persians fell out. The Persians won, and the Medes became wise men, and they traveled the world as wise men. And they would probably have gone in search of what the star meant to them. The star meant a king. So here's my poem. In an uncertain age of expectation, a dazzling star lit up the heavens. Wise men believed in the power of the stars to tell our futures, reveal our destiny. This brilliant star spoke of a king to a waiting world eager for change. They followed the star to the city of David, to a humble stable, a babe in the manger, a brilliant star of expectation. So possibly based on fact, according to what I was reading. Right, and the second one is a continuation of a poem I read or wrote last Christmas. Wasn't there an election sometime around last Christmas?
12th of December.
Thank you. And I was so shocked by the whole thing that I wrote a critique of, so last Christmas was Christmas 2019, and this is Mark II. I'm still disturbed by the patter of deluded politicians, like hyper-magicians of childhood parties. Their spellbinding promises of what could be. I long for considered words and deeds. The efficient Sarah who answers the phone, listens with care, then puts together my long and varied grocery order. The efficient Mark delivers to my door. Zoom Sunday service from the minister's study. My next door neighbors who never forget to knock at my door when they go to the shops. the upstairs neighbour who brings me fresh fish, Richard's commitment to poetry on Zoom, Highgate Society Poetry Group's meeting, interesting challenges to sharpen our wits, sharing and enjoying the love of words, rather than being disturbed by the patter of deluded politicians.
Yay!
That's it.
Lovely, Gwyneth.
Oh, I'm not doing too badly on people's poetry, am I? 2 mentions in one night.
Oh,
Oh,
you deserve an award. You should win the Saboteur Awards.
could be, but this is not a hit, not one bit. This is shit, shit, shit. Unlike our next poet. Christopher Mangen.
To Gwyneth.
To Gwyneth.
It's my medicine.
It's your medicine, right?
Oh, the medicine.
I need a lot of it as well at the moment.
Yes. Okay. So I've only done the one poem, but so I've again. Yes. Yes. No, not again. Only one. Yeah. So this is a combination of Stir Crazy, Getting Out, and It's Xmas. So that's what it's called. Stir Crazy, Getting Out, It's Xmas. This is how to make a Christmas pudding. Stay in. Mustn't go out and buy one from the shop. Start from the top. And not in the microwave. That's lazy. Go stir crazy. Tip dried fruit and apple into a bowl. To which orange juice. No, not yet the flour. Add in measured brandy. Not a whole bottle whole. Stir. Leave to marinate for about 1 hour. Stir butter, sugar and orange rind too. Beat eggs. Add flour if signs of a curdle. Mix spice, nuts, as if I had a clue. Breadcrumbs to make are quite a hurdle. Constituents all as one in basin stirred. Covered and steamed. Remember to top up. 8 hours the lid trembles, bubbles are heard. Or boil for 7. Add water in cups. For brandy butter, don't forget the burr, which cream till light and fluffy with a spoon, or for speed use an electric mixer. Add brandy, rum or cognac, time to croon, until smooth with some sieved icing sugar. Now spoon this lot into a serving dish, cover and set aside in a cool fridge. To serve your fine pudding on Christmas Day, steam or boil it for 2 hours to reheat. Turn out the pudding onto a warm tray. Set light to it with rum. Oh, what a treat, especially with the brandy butter. That last line doesn't fit, but does it matter? So did you make one sans remonstration, or did you succumb to the microwave? It's hardly sacrilege, desecration. Get out, it's Xmas. Don't join the stir craze.
Superb.
Yay!
Yeah, there you go.
But perhaps we'll have another story from you later on.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, but they don't rhyme. No. I only managed to do that one because it rhymed. Or, well, it didn't rhyme, but I could try and make it sound. Yeah, I mean the latest one. They don't rhyme.
It was a very stirring poem.
Oh, very good.
Oh, Vicar, you're so droll.
And we've not been invited to eat them.
That's shocking. Well, over to Anna. Anna Mickiewiez, award winner of the Freedom and Solidarity Medal. Anna, come in.
Yes, thank you very much. I will be reading a poem about Christmas, and I will be mentioning name Bergson. Bergson, I don't know if you know this philosopher. That was a French philosopher who wrote a very important theory about the intuition, how important is in our life intuition. It's more important than thinking even. So I will be mentioning in this poem on his name and this theory of intuition. But the poem is about Christmas as well. Socrates questions. Is art not abundant by the poetry? Asks Socrates. When the arrow of uncertainty pierces photons, hunches and gardens, Bergsonian intuition gets scared. Are you coming for Christmas? Do not be afraid of the freezing Russian winter. He laughed. In winter, the English can walk around in t-shirts. And he dropped dumplings with me into the pot. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anna. And another one?
I have another one, which is not that complicated than the previous one.
Okay.
It's about Jupiter. Jupiter, a star, which is visible always during the Christmas time. In the southern firmament, a star, Jupiter moving across the sky. He needs the grace, and what must be, will be. Socrates is dreaming. That is very short poem, and this is the end. And I don't have the third one because it is still a work in progress.
That's okay.
So thank you very much.
Good working. Okay, this is my response to the Highgate challenge. It's called Stirred Handshaken. The news is in again about COVID. 4 weeks, short window for winter lockdown. We've closed all our doors and battened our hatches, eating baked beans we bought in great batches. We'll allow each other space best we can, respect each other, each woman and man. We'll stay out of trouble, we'll stay well hid. The news is in again about COVID. There's no point in crying tears of no use, no sense in calling names, terms of abuse. Put a smile on our faces, please don't frown. 4 weeks, short window for winter lockdown. We're crazy for contact, stirred, not shaken. The phone is down, we're not Kevin Bacon. Droplets are spreading, we hope we don't catch it. We've closed all our doors, battened the hatches. We're staying safe now, as safe as can be, praying for vaccines to keep us all free. Staying at home, not lifting latches, eating the baked beans we bought in great batches. It's not like way back the day we gelled. Your wind annoys me, you have to be told. Remember the motto, it's not flim-flam. Respect each other, each woman and man. Don't make me angry and then run for cover. You can't go out and run to your mother. Just stay out of trouble, just stay well hid. The news is in again about COVID. Thank you.
Yeah. You've gone, our Rich has gone all kind of like this, hasn't he?
Really? What's that?
Richie Strider.
Okay. This is what I wrote a while ago. I don't understand it. On site, newly arrived, minted like a baby. Here now, in new spaces, shining out so brightly. At last, earth to ground, standing as I want to. There you go, a short one.
Oh, I was waiting for it. You'll have to work on that. I was waiting for it. It's like dun 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 dun.
You're still there.
No, that's not me. I'm
Yeah.
still there, yes.
Anna, we can see you better now.
Yes,
Good.
you've got a chin.
You've got another cushion.
Yes.
So, Tom, last one today. The first one was Wendy.
Okay, this is a sort of a Christmassy poem, and it's about it's called R.I.P. Robbie B. He was my well, my mate. I call her my mate. She was a cow, really, but I knew her as a kid, and we used to go carol singing, and he used to come along, and she used to get annoyed anyway. Unfortunately, he's not with us now. So this is called R.I.P. Robbie B. National Health specs and slick back hair, duffel coat, council house chic and flair. Julie was annoyed when you came along, but we all got on when we sang a song. Carol singing in a Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis elan. We three kings, oh little town of Bethlehem. Me, thee, and your Julie. Apples to eat, nuts to crack. Here we come with a rat-a-tat-tat or a ding-dong-ding if the client had a bell. Ran like hell when we realised one of the bungalows opened the door was Hector the maths teacher. Something on his face said he didn't like carol singers. Maybe he did, but we just fled. To me and Julie, he was Herod. Last time I saw thee, Rob, was at the Norman Disco. DJ, of course, because you always had loads of records. We just stared at each other, didn't even speak, and then I heard you were a nightclub manager. Of course, it was your DNA, your destiny. But now I read in the local rag back home that you died. Hard to believe that kid has gone. Rock and roll away in your major. Rob the nice guy, Julie's little brother. And this one is about...
Super.
Rest in peace, Robbie.
Yeah, bless him. And the next one is about another character I used to hang about. I always ended up hanging around with the wrong people. Like Richard and Andrew and what? No, but as a kid. And this was, I went to one of those Arvin courses. I don't know if you've heard of them. And I went to the one in Shropshire that used to be John Osborne's house, which was great. But to be honest, it's a lot of money for a few days. And you end up doing your own bloody cooking and washing up. But anyway, out of one of the workshops or whatever we did, I can't remember now. I came out with this poem about Winnie. She was the character down my street who just had no fear of anyone. And this is called Queen Adidas. She didn't so much have the Midas touch. It was more like Adidas. Because no matter who Winnie touched, they turned to thieves on the run. From clothes to joints of meat, before barcodes came, and in Leeds her and Julie nicked many brand names. Shoved them up their frock, they had no shame. Walked in skinny, left looking 8 months pregnant. Winnie always led, and the lasses wanted to be like her. What's that mean? I can't come out. Get this end dressed and get down here. You couldn't stay in. All her pawns would do as she said, too weak to refuse because she got into your head. Her mother's name was Doreen, but she called her Dollocks. And Dollocks would say, you cheeky chuff, and laugh in Park Drive, hey, 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 smoke. We always wanted a mother like Dollocks. And Winnie's brother, Sprut, who in turn called Winnie because she were tall and white and skinny. Swish, because she resembled a curtain rail. Of course, Winnie ended up in Risley, a prison near Manchester, with Julie, and they were just as brazen in there as they were at school, as saying to the warden, "Miss, how's your gee?" referring to the prison warden's Fanny. They got up to all sorts before that in Leeds. They'd write to me, and at 17, I'd wish it was me in her flat, well, a bedsit, having a laugh, effing the police off. Piss off, blue bottle. They didn't give a damn. Until that day they were banged up. I look back and I think, thank God I didn't join them. And though Winnie got her share of shit, she ended up with a bloke who were loaded and rents out apartments and does yoga in Goa. And that's it.
You've met some interesting people.
Oh, I grew up in a very interesting place.
No, I'm talking about the prison warder.
Well, I've never met a prison warder. It was Winnie and Julie. I never went to prison. They did.
And he, okay.
No, not me. I might get a book published if I did. Maybe I should do it.
But I haven't met a prison warden. It was in a pub. It was in a pub on the island. And we experienced isolation alone, together shielded by unwanted arms, clashing about like seas crashing, smashing against. Experienced isolationists together alone on the island. Together alone on the island with Andrew Ray.
Yay.
Right, okay, so my second Hagtessa poem of the night. This one's really spooky. Although the Hagtessa were mythical creatures, nevertheless, in Anglo-Saxon writings, we have two first-hand accounts of them. And this one is taken from an account by a group of clerics which were riding through the forest, and they wrote down their experience of an encounter with the Hagtessa. And all I've done is fill in the one or two gaps from known information. I've added nothing here which didn't actually supposedly happen. I call the poem The Hagtessa Ride Out. The clerical troop came padding along, riding sturdy steeds on trodden path long, through green shady wood, through vast dark forest. Then thundering in came a frightening guest, a fearsome shrill voice, a terrible sound, pounding heave and hoofs thunder on the ground. Women from the sky ride out in the pack, the helmet beings behind our cold back. We shiver and cringe with nowhere to hide. Their red eyes flaming ever onward they ride, like ghosts of wild wood, crashing and smashing, riding through forests, thundering, crashing. Mighty cavalcade, women of power, Thermitic and wish, make everyone cower. Coming up from the right, drawing up beside, clashing spears and shields ever onward they cried, their three-pronged weapons with scarlet dripping, supernatural terror, branches ripping, shadowy shield maidens, such curses they cast, swiftly traversing and rushing straight past, riding in straight line, Hagtessa ride out, wearing ragged tatters, they scream and shout. Dark shadow goers rip forests ahead, the hags disappear and leave us with dread. Or as we say in Hornchurch, just another girls' night out.
Yay, brilliant. Where's the Hagtessa from?
Anglo-Saxon, England, also Norway, the Netherlands and Iceland.
Wow.
Andrew,
All the North Sea countries had the Hagtessa.
Andrew, did they have no Anglo-Saxon four-letter words in the time of the Anglo-Saxons?
I I'm uncertain of this. I don't know.
But perhaps curses and oaths.
What's
Well,
that?
oh yes, there were yes, curses and oaths. You said your oath under a tree, an old tree, and the tree would bear witness to the oath. Hence, the Magna Carta was signed under a tree.
Oh, right, okay.
And now my last poem. This is called Snow and makes up the lack of snow in my little song earlier. White blossoms of snow as the day lengthens fall from the heavens as the cold strengthens. A wintry veil of elfin white crown forms a comfortable wrappage for the ground. Children lark and laugh like merry field wights, oblivious of these cold, chilly nights. In nightly revels with their frivolity, they have overwatched in their jollity. Crisp wintry form descends from the sky, an elfin white mist falling from high. Through the heavy snow, the gate of night stark, whose spectre full many a man doth mark. Winding chill winds howl along the long lea. Stand fast, dost fear to ride with me. Some durst not venture on this elfin night. Doth the still moon shine in the soft snow bright. The holly tree with its snowy white crown, dreaming of when summer cometh to town. O tree, full oft hast thou been so bedecked, snowy down blanket with emerald spikes flecked. Trudge home contemplating that cheerful glass, heavy gate of night wilt soon come to pass. Jack Frost soon be gone, if he dost intend, and bring the bitter winter tide to an end.
Wow.
More snow.
Lovely.
A blizzard of words from Mr. Denis Herbstein.
Now, I'll give you something. Now, I've already done coming out or not coming out, and I've done a version of Christmas. This one is called Stir Crazy, very strange title for a poem, but it's about a man I think we haven't seen the last of. It's called Stir Crazy Man, November 2020, DC. Election, rejection, eviction, conviction looms, says first base ump. You've been too long on the stump. Now you go like a monk and do not dress like a schlump. Did I hear you harumph? Rudeness, crudeness, hardly pulchritudinous. You just a chump as your electorals slump and Joe Biden's jump give you such a rear end thump that you gon' catch the mump. Fascist, racist, narcissist, worse, casuist, lie like the Pinocchio punk. Your face like small fella in a grump when mama says, no lump of candy 'cause you too plump. And far away he slunk. The golf course man, putting first for America, got the hump, ran out of spunk. Kerplunk. This man nothing but a chump. And the verdict is, you stumped. Donald Trump, you been gazumped.
Yay.
That's it. I'm afraid we'll hear a bit more of him one of these days.
I'm afraid so.
Right, any other pearls of wisdom from you, Denis?
Sorry?
Right, any other pearls of the wisdom from you?
My hearing is
Yeah.
bad. It's not clear from your. Yes.
I'm wondering if you've got anything else. More poetry?
No.
No. Okay. Denis Herbstein, a South African violet, deepest dark blue petals brightened by specks of yellow stamen. The cracked pot it lived in, the stony ground it moved to, symbolic somehow of a changing relationship. Gwyneth.
Yay.
Gwyneth, right. Gwyneth trying to write her Christmas cards and finds it almost impossible. So I've called it, What is it about? What is it about Christmas? I've made my cards, found my mailing list. I read your names. I lose the plot. I get lost in time of people and places. Fellowship and friendship live in my mind, filling my thoughts as clearly, as fresh as ever. Right, that's it.
Oh.
I can offer you another one.
Later. But we're
I'll
still
offer
with
you another
Gwyneth.
one.
We're still with Gwyneth.
Right, well,
Oh, fine, that's all right.
I've got a stir crazy, but not as clever as the political one. It's about my granny. Well, it could have been political. Granny was stir crazy, was she not? As she spooned and stirred her Christmas puds. A good Methodist, she stirred in the spirit. The odd silver sixpence, yet to be found. 4 greased pots were filled to the brim, then tied with a tiny bit of old sheet. Placed in a cauldron of boiling water, carefully placed on the living room fire, where they bubbled and boiled for many an hour, till we decided to go to bed.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh.
But okay, we'll go back to Denis.
We want to know what happened when you got up the next morning.
Oh, the puddings. they were happy, sitting in cold water.
Well, to go back one space, Mr. Herbstein, another one?
Yeah, I'll give it. Yeah. Okay, here we are. And this is something I wrote some time ago. And it's the day that I passed my father's age. My father died from a bit too much smoking, about 50 a day for 40, 50 years. And it's called My Old Dad. I've overtaken you at last, you who made me bone and marrow. I've hauled from high your arching shadow, see you clearer in the glass. Now I am my father's keeper, more like him each passing day, genes unerring in his sway, even feel a little creakier. My children, whom you did not see, may wonder at the man they missed, ask, did he show his palm or fist? Was this the man who now is me? The whistle's blown for extra time. Too late. I'm stuck forever in his grand design.
Oh, very nice, Denis.
I see it's the length, it's 14:9, but I didn't intend it to be a sonnet. Yes.
That's the pod, is
Thinking
it?
about comparing it to say.
Oops.
That sounded like one of your awful puns, Dennis. A father and sonnet.
What's that? Sorry, I was looking at my screen. Yes, you said something.
But it sounded like one of your awful puns. Father and
I'm
sonnet.
having trouble hearing you with my. Sorry.
Father and sonnet.
Oh, that's clever.
Okay, thank you.
Don't know who. Oh, my mother's got one that she could read, an old one that's in her book about Christmas.
Please, I'd love to hear it.
There we are then.
Okay.
Go on.
Yes, as Christopher said, this is not immediately up to date, having been written a year or so ago. It's called Christmas Again. You can find Christmas in a part of London on a cold, dark evening at this time of year. Starts with office party. No work for ages. Lots of food and drink flow. Mistletoe and holly. Obliged to be jolly. The boss wants it so. It almost seems that man's quite human. Out into Piccadilly, Eros. Time for Eros. Then on the course followed each year. Berwick Market to visit. Colour, such colour, fruit exquisitely shown. Have you ever watched snow fall on an orange? Down to Nelson Square, each year a tree there, a present from Norway, friendship displayed. Then to St. Martin's, St. Martin in his field, welcoming church, and then down to the crypt. Shelter and warmth there for those who so need it. Each year it happens. It's Christmas again.
Hey, lovely. Really nice.
Thank you.
Excellent, Joyce. Thank you, and thank you for reading your first poem on a Highgate Society Poetry Group Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Wrote anything else from over there, Christopher?
Yeah,
Sorry?
Wrote anything else from your house?
No, we haven't got anybody else here. We're being good and self-isolating.
Wrote any more
Do you want
poems?
a poem on Easter?
What did Dennis say?
Don't know. Sorry, what did you say, Dennis? Oh.
A poem about Easter.
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 Easter. Oh, yeah.
But he's correct it. But so Anna thinking of you with lots of words to say, then all those words they run away, leaving just blank spaces. Anna Mickiewiez, fill them in.
Unfortunately, I don't have the third poem.
Oh, I'm sorry?
I don't have the third poem.
Right, have you got another one to read, though?
No, I don't have it.
No? You got nothing on your computer?
Oh,
I
one,
have, because I have one, because
bring out your dead.
unfortunately it's one in progress. If I will find something that will be not about Christmas.
Hold on. My mother is doing very well. She's found another one that she's recently written.
Oh,
Yes,
Maybe I will.
Is this
Yes.
the same business?
Just a minute.
I've written in the past.
Can I read in Polish?
Wait a minute.
Can I read in Polish?
Oh, no, hold on. This lady wants to read. No, you have to wait.
Go on.
Can I read in Polish?
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
That one.
Okay. Rozkwitają poetyckie śmietniki historii. Niezauważeni. Londyńscy poeci. Miastem, czerwonym autobusem zakoleni. Mitycznie zauroczeni. Metalowym wózkiem z supermarketu, arbuzami wypełnionym. Nie na śmietnik, lecz do sklepików pchanym, Turków ramionami. Przygnieceni. Przytułkiem Norwida, symbolami zakwitłym, sentymentami znasyconym, zeschłymi literami, historiograficznie zapisani.
Oh, thank you. Like the bit
That's
about
what
the
you
red buses in London.
Yes, red buses in London.
oh wow.
Oh yes, the red.
Because Andrew knows
Yes,
Polish.
I got that.
Yeah,
He's
not enough to get the whole poem, just bits here and there.
Yes, that's about London.
Yeah.
And red buses and poets in London.
Hmm.
Turkish stores in London.
Yeah, I heard that bit too.
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Did you want my mother to read another poem?
No.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
anarchist.
go on. Read that one.
Can we not
It's
see
a
her
joke, really.
Oh, all right. It's
Just a joke.
okay.
Because I had written
Turn the light on.
at
Go
the
on then.
request of a writing group about men, and I said how much I like them. This was written just a day or so ago. Prompted, I must say. I've changed my mind about men. Can you put the light on?
Yes. Just a minute. Just hold on. Okay.
It was meant to be a gentle jibe. But why not, said he, a diatribe? That's what it sounds like, and it's true, and applies to every one of you. Women too. We're all the same in the love game. They completely ignore he's a wife at home and kids galore. He loves them more. Wait for me. She could wait for years, and then she hears, I always thought you would find yourself a nice boy. Oh, what a ploy. It's all in the game, driving life along, and it doesn't matter. I find it put neatly in a poetry book. Their poet said so sweetly, were it not madness to deny, to love, to live, because we are sure to die. And so we accept it and wouldn't have missed it. And grateful for the men, just changed my mind about them. Very good.
Hang on.
Yeah, yeah, enjoyed that.
Sorry?
Will she still talk to me?
Sorry?
Dennis said, will you still talk to him?
Yeah, okay.
Moving on.
Missed it.
There we are.
Yeah.
Moving on past Christmas to New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, always and forever, as sad as me. I would flee pre-countdown to be alone with pen, with paper, caught between promise and reflection. In reflection, hopeless and forlorn, wishing I'd never ever been born. Just another indignity I never asked for. But in promise words came fleet and slipped, never to be caught, forces beyond my strength, denying everything that was then. But this is now, free of embarrassment, given life and breath and hope, whilst I choose to stay at home. I am not alone. Together we shall party.
Oh, gorgeous.
Sympathetic applause.
Oh, stop. Oh, always me. No, it's really. Poor old Richard.
I know. This is one of my Yoko poems. Kind of Yoko issued this instruction, and in the instruction she used 3 words which were torn, touched, rubbed. And so I used Yoko's words, and then I used 3 words of my own, which were home, school, work. This poem's called From Tear to Touch to Rub. Torn into a road of death and violence through a first tear of the flesh. Touched by a caress of early love, next by the hit of hatred. Rubbed, the flesh is kindly smoothed for my retorn life to be recycled. Home where the hearth warmth of fire slowly dissipates through a colder spring. School where adult words are no longer trusted, where peers bring a vengeful bite to summer. Work for a longing to be rekindled as we tear, touch and rub our seasons back to living. And that's me done.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, it sounds like a poem, doesn't it? It sounds like a poem. You fell to sleep.
Influenced by Yoko, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm a big fan of this story. I picked up on it back in the 1970s. In 1974, a friend gave me 3 Beatles albums for £1 each, and I followed them and I studied them. And Yoko's story, I think, was really appalling, how people treated her. But not as bad as this guy who fell to sleep on the stairs last night. No one's sleeping shared his space. It wasn't the risers that keep him awake, but another failure to empty his sodden pockets. Talking of sodden pockets, it's time for Wendy Young.
Oh, and my battery's just about to go, so I'll just plug in this.
Where you gone, Lens?
Run off.
Yeah, sorry. My battery on my PC was about to go, so I've just plugged it in the mains. Sorry about that. I'm usually so professional. This one, I just remembered this one. I didn't know I'd got any Christmas poems, but then I do like to write angry things that make me angry, and Christmas gets on my nerves. So, and this one I remember I wrote, and I don't know if any of you gang have come across a bloke called Jack Shamash. He's he lives in North London. Jack Shamash. He used to run the Poetry Shack. I only caught it just as it was closing, and he was a bit, yeah. Anyway, but Jack Shamash. But he was this night. I did the open mic and I won a chicken. And a frozen chicken, and Will Self was there. So I've read this in front of Will Self, none other. So this is called X Marks the Spot. Is it the X Factor? Can I be an attractor? Is it extreme sports? Can I race you in my tractor? Is it X-Mal Deutschland reforming? They'll say, mate, if you give them a contract. Or is it Xmas, that excellent time of year when people exchange gifts and riffs are lifted for a time, bells chime, spirits like snow are shifted, drifters may find a stable, able to join the cheer. Tears shed for absent friends, copious cards penned to those far and near, carols singing, far la la-ing, then rat-a-tat-tatting, welcomed in, mulled wine drinking, mince pie munching, off their trudging in the night. To the wind 3 sheets they are, bearing song sheets, traverse afar. Drunks on an outing, well-wishers shouting, Casper, Melchior, Balthazar, following yonder jar. Ho, ho, Santa's on his way tonight, fill my stocking, it's too light. And the, oh crap, and sort out the TV, give me a DVD. I can't deal with entertainment, and Christmas, it's all shite. Sorry, that was the wrong version.
Oh
I had to do it ad hoc. I only wrote that because the challenge was Christmas. I didn't know there was one, so I wrote that one. So is that? Do I do another or not? Is
Yeah, go for
I
another.
have to go. Sorry, I have to go.
Oh, bye, Anna.
Oh, Anna, bye.
Bye.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
This one is called My Porridge Slips Out Like a Polar Bear Having a Baby. Sometimes my porridge slips out like a polar bear having a baby. When I make it correctly, with the right amount of water, the right amount of oats. Today it's stuck. Sometimes I take a large wad of cotton wool so that I can sweep it easily across my face, soaked in witch hazel. But today I took a small wad and dry wisps stuck. That's it.
Thank you. Well worth it.
Thank you.
Well,
I
interesting.
have found,
Hey, what?
hold on a second, don't all leave. I have found a little poem which is quite ridiculous, which might be viewed as a work of genius by some people. On the other hand, it might not be. Should I read it to you?
Hmm.
It's called It is my turn, is it?
Well, it's Andrew's turn and then it's yours.
Am I being heard?
Yes.
as my maths teacher used to say. It's called, here we are, oh, I found it. It is called A Tin of Sardines. At this moment, as I speak, a girl is born in the Philippines, the 7th billionth living soul on earth, into a squirming tin of sardines. They say 74 billion people have lived on our planet since earliest man climbed down from the trees, brushed away the leaves, and ran. The calculation excludes my chimp grandpa, and further back a fish, a diplodocus, a nautilus imprisoned as an ammonite, washed up on the beach at Lyme Regis. Ah, but the land was green and pleasant then, swathed in sylvan fecundity. No hunger, no wars raged, no sickness. Didn't know of fast food obesity. Now we spawn like sex-starved amoebae, which new births will break the planet's back, send us a wobbly worse than the comet that did for great Uncle Natterjack. Enough. My God, when did I write that? I wrote that in 1937.
Wow.
Or was it 2037? Somebody's moved. Oh, okay.
That's
Right, I'll have to
Andrew.
reconfigure here. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Hi.
Hello. Interesting.
Oh, I'm digging deep into. Wow. Oh, no, not him. Oh, not him.
Everything's gone really anarchic, like a poet who in a traffic jam throws a pronoun through the window, a verb returning, an unnecessary argument over in seconds. Andrew Ray.
Right, thank you.
Yay.
Well, I'm running low on things to do here. I think I'd like to read my poem based on the Anglo-Saxon month of December, which was called, in effect, the month. Well, no, actually, no, hang on. I'm going to read you the one about Christmas, which was between the months of December and January. They had an extra gap. It wasn't a full month, it was just a festive period. So it's called Jola, meaning Yule. Growing colder by the degree, betwixt 2 months, Jola be. Their stay inside, we doth agree. Feast and wassail, blessing on thee. For 3 short days the sun hangs still, in 3 more days the New Year's chill. And so let us await until Waldorf adores, feet to fulfill. Rejoice thus this most sacred time, the sun wilt soon start his slow climb. For 12 days feast, thy time line, raise thine goblet, sun wilt soon shine. Winter goddess we doth invoke, and leave the meads until Imbolc. Gather within yon groves of oak, and sing outdoors in hood and cloak. Modra was Holy Mother's night. Hail the goddess, returning light. By means of light shall we invite night of mothers still sacred rite. Wheel of the year, she starts to turn, of summer's warmth we doth yet yearn. The sun climbs high and starts to burn. Waldorf adore, thee shalt return.
Ah. Got another one, Andrew?
I'm here. What's happened? Help. Start video. Hello? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
We can hear you, Andrew.
Yeah, something, I don't know, something just, my camera just cut out. I got a signal saying problem with the bandwidth.
Ah,
Oh.
that's
I am
always
still
the-
here.
Does anybody mind if I eat a radish?
Go ahead with your radish. I can see it. It looks very nice.
Now, I've lost another tooth,
So
so it's all getting
controversial,
more and more
isn't it?
difficult.
Why am I?
He's a munchkin.
It won't come back.
I have to have them back on Tuesday.
Oh dear. Now what's
Courtesy
happening?
of the National Health Service.
There's a pagan, Andrew, speaking to the darkness.
You can't carry on. My system's gone crazy. I can't get the camera back on.
Have we finished now, Richard? Or
Not really. We've got some time if you want it.
I've got two
Well, I think
more.
we've had.
I've got a
we
short,
were lovely to
two
hear
short
Gwyneth.
poems if you
Lovely
want
to
them.
hear Gwyneth while Andrew sorts his stuff out.
Okay. Gwyneth.
No, they're just.
Gwyneth, right.
Gwyneth is going to read a poem.
They're two short poems that hang together, I think. First one is Midwinter Blues. Christmas or not, I want to escape. Midwinter blues, the trees are bare, the sun forsakes us, the cold sets in. I long for the sea warmed by the sun. So I don't like being in the city at Christmas. So that's my midwinter blues. And then when I get to the sea, it's cold sea, of course, but I enjoy watching the winter swimmers. Walking in the path between the sea and the cliffs, searching for signs of solitary swimmers, strong and soulmates together with the sea, resting securely on the buoyant sea, parting the waves with an empathy of motion, secure and certain of their control.
Oh.
The people who swim in the sea at Christmas are amazing because they just, they always seem to be very strong and very fit, and they just swim out and seem to rest on the water. And as though they belong there.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to watch them.
Will you be able to get to the sea this year, Gwyneth?
I'm afraid not.
Oh,
So I have to put up with the city.
So we have a Christmas card from you, Gwyneth, this year.
I've got them. Yes, I will send anyone one. I've made my Christmas cards.
Yes, we know.
I said, didn't I? And they're all about the wise men following the star. So I'll be delighted to send them to anybody.
Gwyneth, if you could send me a Christmas pudding, I'd be delighted to receive it.
No Christmas puddings. I might make a Christmas cake, but no Christmas pudding.
Oh, right. Oh, good. Okay. Okay.
Andrew's your man for the pudding.
Right.
I've made my pudding, of course. I did it on Stir Up Sunday.
Say again?
I made my pudding on Stir Up Sunday, which was not last Sunday, but the one before.
Ah, right. Tell us about Stir Up Sunday then.
Right, Stir Up Sunday is the last Sunday before the start of Advent. And you're supposed to make your Christmas pudding with 13 ingredients. It's lucky to stir only from east to west. And when stirring, you get to make a wish. And you let everyone in the family take a turn with the stirring, and they make a wish while they're stirring. We had one of our grandchildren over that day, so there were 3 of us which got to make wishes with the pudding.
East To
How
west.
can you stir east to west?
You have to turn the bowl, not the spoon.
No. Oh.
So you
Right.
you rotate the bowl as you're stirring, as you're pulling the spoon across from east to west.
Wow.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And for me, with my worktop, that means just pulling the spoon from left to right the whole time.
Yes.
It's not as difficult as it sounds. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite quick.
Mm. You know that.
Well, so I've never heard of it before.
Stirring it from east to west.
No,
Mm.
no.
Well, Christopher Ross, we've got you on screen. Anything else from your house? Either from you or from your mum?
Well, I haven't. Have you got anything else that you want to read to them?
No, I didn't mean the last one.
No, my mother's saying the last one was a joke. She doesn't mean it about me.
Oh, no, no problem. It's no problem.
Yeah.
What's our friend, she reading you a story? Is that okay if I read you a story?
Is it a mistake to have more than one choice of a topic?
The toilet.
Do you think it's a mistake to have more than one choice as a topic to write a poem?
Well, I don't know. People can create from 2 choices or 3 choices, can bring them all together, or just pick up on a part of it.
Yeah. No, perhaps it's a good thing.
But anyway, I'd like to read you a story, if you're up for it.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. This story is kind of based on when I was growing up. Back in the 1960s, all I'd ever hear about was what my dad did in the war, or what so-and-so did in the war, or whatever. Right, and it was really irritating to me. And lots of people know that I am a civil rights activist. And I write a lot of poetry about that. Right, and so I'm putting myself in the place of a person who talks about the same old thing over and over again to his kids. And this is called A Room and a View. Spider came from the latest line of literal fucking cripples, young and knowing. He would poo-poo the views of his antecedents. Oh, what you did during the struggle for civil rights, Grandad? Wheel around Parliament Square. Big deal. What do you mean, kettled in the pig pen? I'll kettle you myself, you mouldy old mollusk. Spider was of his own time, had his own issues, and knew for a fact that all the old ever did was sell him out and settle for shit. Pulling up fast into the car park, swerving smack bang centre into a crypt spot, Spider had just got clear of his folks singing songs and chanting know-nothing pedantic chants that always put themselves and what they want first, as if it ever really amounted to anything but a crock of cuttlefish. Deeply peeved with thoughts of failed would-be revolutionaries, he rummaged in his left trouser pocket for the key. Big and clunky, he couldn't fail to find it. Why didn't radar ever settle for a fob? I'll never know. I'll be lucky to get this out without losing some of the key tissue or whatever to floor dropsy. Fingering the long shaft and position it for safe removal, he considered all the other things he ever deeply hated about his lot. It didn't take long. His garden was rosy when compared to the suckers he'd left behind. Limpet losers. Wheeling to the door, he lifted the key Notice the size of the hole the key went into, and caused the simplicity of the technology. The room he entered into was spacious, dotted with grab rails and red cords, silver taps that worked by hand motion. Unusually warm, it even had a changing space. Making himself comfortable on the raised chair, his mood darkened even more. His thoughts were mocking. What do I want? Egress. When do I want it? Egress. Now. Time passed. Spider had no need to hurry, had made no commitment to getting back home at any time. It wasn't like a carer's curfew to negotiate. If he wanted to stay up till 7:30, he would. No one told Spider what time to go to bed. God, whatever caused his mum and dad and old Winkle to accept something like that? He just couldn't see the sense of putting up with what they put up with. What were they on anyway? Lithium? Going back to his car, Spider looked back to the room he had just left. Looking at the door, he noticed the old International Disabled People sign he so despised, a lifeless stick figure in a representation of what the old cockle's chair must have looked like. Silly old fart. Should have gone electric years ago. And then he noticed what he hadn't wanted to see. This room jutted out from the rest of the building. Longer rooms stretched parallel behind it. They too were still labelled with signs. The signs came with the words, women, men, pluralistic words. Women went in with women, men went in with men. They toileted together, compared experiences, took slight looks at sizes, chatted, laughed at crude jokes. The bloke at his office talked about this time he had met Phil Mitchell at a urinal in a pub and sang Pearl's Cafe with him. It's all a load of bollocks, or something like that, closing his car door behind him. Spider realised that inside the car, inside that stinking room over there, inside anywhere, he was still outside, and probably always would be. And it was rooms and signs like that pointing to his differences that placed him there. He thought of his mom and that slimy old jellyfish she had linked up with, and once more doubted everything they ever stood for. Civil rights, uncivic sites, more like. Spider started his motor, reversed out, and drove off to spend some more time with his gloom.
Yay! Oh, that was a marathon.
Richard, could
Well
you
read,
email me that?
Richard.
What?
Could you email me that poem?
Yeah, except it's a story.
Well, whatever it is, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
You don't have to give it a label. I just like to read it because I missed a bit, you see.
Okay.
And I don't want you to read it again. I'll read it myself and
Okay.
draw my own conclusions. I've got to go because I've got to make a pasta tonight.
Well, it's 8:15. All we've got to do is...
It's an Italian word for fish and chips.
He's had a bit of that tonight.
Thank you so much,
Good night,
Richard, and
Dennis.
everybody else.
Have a good
And
Christmas.
Andrew, I can't see you.
No, my system seems to have crashed. I'm just holding on
You
by
might be news for my
bringing a prayer.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
What am I doing? Clapping. I mean, bye. I need to eat. I need to eat.
Lead meeting.
Okay, so we've got 15 minutes left, so we've got to set a challenge. We're looking for ideas.
So it'll be
The
January.
next one. Hey, so when do we meet up next time? It's January 2021, isn't it? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
the first Tuesday.
Yeah, diary out.
New Year resolutions.
yeah, that's a good one, Gwyneth. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Gwyneth, what did you say?
I just said New Year resolutions.
Oh, resolutions.
What about revolution?
New Year revolution.
That's a good one, resolutions.
Yes, however, putting it together with kind of yours, Wendy, I call it resolutions, revolution.
Oh, revolution and resolutions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be good. Yes.
Revolutions and resolutions.
Oh,
So that's it for next time. Revolutions and resolutions.
Yeah.
hey, that sounds like a good book title. Why can't we have an anthology, Richard? Highgate Poetry Anthology.
Well, I did send out, right, I think it was Michelle who wanted to do an anthology, right, and I put out a message, but I got nothing back. And now you're saying do it.
Oh, where was the message then?
I think I emailed it ages ago, 2 or 3 months back.
Yes,
Oh.
I think I remember.
There you go, Gwyneth's on my side.
I remember.
I'm
Yes.
sure you did. You're always sending them. You are on, yeah.
Yes.
So Richard, this Thrive Aid, are you going to be attending it? Are we?
Right, what I did was I sent in all photographs and haikus. I think I sent in 16 in total. And I sent it to Philadelphia to be turned into a film. And this was the film of pictures and haikus which should be presented. However, having said that, have not heard anything back.
Oh.
Right, however, on Instagram, there's a photograph of me and I'm saying, Wendy put in an haiku, Jane and Michelle did it too, and Jew. I'm hopeful
I'll
fingers
sue.
crossed.
Well, it'll not be 7 o'clock here though, will it? It's
I'm
going to be
positive
about
it's going to be
11 or
7
12
here.
at night.
No, it's going to be 7 here, I'm positive of that.
Oh, well. Anyway, I'll check it out. So hopefully see you there. See you in Philadelphia, just above the butter. All right.
Anybody else?
I'm going to have to eat. Fading away.
I think we're fading
Fading, I'm
away.
fading.
Oh no. No, no.
What's
I
that? Happened to me?
came on.
Hey, sorry.
What?
Shall we say good night then?
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've got to
good
shut my
night,
computer down
Richard,
to
Bob.
get it
Oh.
working properly again. It's just crashed.
Oh.
I know, it couldn't
What a
take the
shame.
excitement.
Right,
The boomerang won't come back. Oh.
Yeah. Okay, see you all next month. Some of you
Yeah,
see
Yes.
them.
hopefully see you before then at another reading.
Yeah,
or-
absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
Yep.
Take care, everybody.
bye.
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 Bye. Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Leave.
Bye, Richard.
Try.
Lots of love to
I've got to do a
Jean as
shutdown.
well. Lots of love to Jean, Richard.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Too long, Gwyneth.
Bye.